morning, everyone. I'm Terry Johns from United Way of Southwood and Adams Counties. I want to welcome you today, ladies and gentlemen, students, board members, history buffs, and reading mentors. We welcome school and church volunteers, fundraisers, environmentalists, team leaders, and anti-bullying advocates. We welcome musicians, tech wizards, sports enthusiasts, and all-around jacks of all trades. We welcome you so we can thank you for feeding the hungry and visiting the elderly. We thank you for helping our disabled neighbors, mentoring children, teaching teamwork, and sharing your skills. Thank you for standing up for others, for protecting our environment, and for being a friendly face to someone going through a difficult time. We thank all the volunteers in this room and all in the community who could not be here today. Volunteers make so many things possible for us. Your efforts are truly priceless. If it isn't obvious yet, we are bursting with appreciation for you, and there's a good reason why. In 2018, we recorded 182,994 volunteer hours in Southwood and Adams counties. According to the independent sector, the value of a volunteer is $24.69 per hour. So when you do the math, quick in your head, that equals $4,518,122 of value to this community. How about a round of applause for that? And to each of you, we have just a small token of our appreciation for each person here this morning. We have the megaphones that you found at your table. They also double as a popcorn bucket, and we've even given you the popcorn, but I know it's hard for some to resist. So grab your megaphone, take out the popcorn, and there's a little cover on the bottom, so you want to take that off, and let's just test them out. See how loud we can be. Ready?
Hey, all right, wake up.
Are both acceptable this morning. So when you hear someone's name called, you can certainly cheer for them. To kick off our celebration, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Okay, come back. Okay, so to kick off our celebration this morning, we have invited Wisconsin Rapids Mayor Zach Berwink to give the proclamation.
Good morning, everybody, and I'll echo Terry's congratulations and thank you to all of you who are giving your time and your talents and maybe some of your treasure at times to our community organizations across the community. So today it's my honor to read off our proclamation, which reads, I, Mayor Zachary J. Berwink, hereby proclaim April 7th through 13, 2019 as National Volunteer Week in Southwood and Adams counties. It reads, I urge my fellow citizens to join the volunteer effort in our communities by volunteering and recognizing those who serve. Volunteering promotes fellowship and unity and increases community awareness. Please join us during National Volunteer Week to make a difference in the lives of others. Dated today, April 9th, 2019. So thanks again. I look forward to congratulating each of you over in a few minutes.
Now we have a very special presentation for you. Miss Wisconsin 2018, Tiana Vanderhei, is here to talk about her volunteer experiences right here in our community. A native of Wisconsin Rapids, Tiana captured the title of Miss Wisconsin 2018 in June. A trained dancer since age 5, she performed a lyrical dance for the talent portion of the competition and earned scholarships to utilize toward her education. At the 2019 Miss America competition, she won the first ever preliminary on-stage interview and landed a spot among the top 15. Tiana graduated from the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse in 2015 with a degree in Organizational and Professional Communication Studies and a minor in Sports Broadcasting. She hopes to pursue her master's degree in Marketing or Communications. During her service to the state of Wisconsin, she is promoting her social impact initiative, BOSS, Building Our Soft Skills, Strengthening Our Future. Her mission is to help people become the boss of their own future through the development of vital soft skills that will give them an advantage in their careers and in their lives. Please help me in welcoming Miss Wisconsin 2018, Tiana Vanderhei.
Good morning. How is
everyone?
Great.
Enjoying the spring weather for a little bit longer? I was at an appearance the other night for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, and that's our national platform for Miss America. And one of the heroes' families was up to speak, and one of the dads said something that resonated with me. It was that we are put on this earth to do more than just live and die. And sometimes, at any age, we get so enthralled with what we have to do that we lose sight of what's really important, and that's the other people around us and our communities. In fact, I posted a quote this morning on our Miss Wisconsin account that says, "Our service is our rent to our environment." You all know that, you're a testament to that, but it's what we do for others that enriches our own lives. I've been involved with the Miss America organization since I was a senior in high school. In fact, I got my start right here in Wisconsin Rapids competing for Miss Wisconsin Rapids. And I didn't realize at that point in time the impact I was making. Quite frankly, we never really get feedback, rarely do we when we're volunteering. So I didn't realize the breadth or the depth that I could make serving others and traveling throughout the state. I started volunteering at a young age, even in elementary school at Woodside. I was involved with teen leadership and different activities. And as I got into high school, I racked up those volunteer hours. I did the Make a Difference Day, Day of Caring, which I was fortunate to do as Miss Wisconsin in the community this year for years. You do this because to me, growing up, it was just something that I knew I had to do. But I've learned a lot through this experience and through watching people in the communities that I travel to, and trust me, I've racked up 30,000 miles since June, so I travel quite a bit, that is what makes the community go round. In my presentation about BOSS, building our soft skills to students, I talk about Miss Wisconsin's top 5 soft skills. And the last one I touch on is my favorite, it's teamwork. I often say to the kids and students in high school and college that teamwork makes the dream work. And they all laugh and say, yeah, I've heard that before. But sometimes we don't think about that. Sometimes we might feel alone. We may have a bad day, and it's all of you devoting your time, your energy, your dedication into helping others that make that teamwork become a reality. Even myself as Miss Wisconsin have days where I'm struggling. I may mentally or emotionally be overcoming a challenge of some sort. But in order to persevere through that, to overcome that obstacle and truly succeed in any capacity of my life, I need my team. We have teams in our school, in our work environment, in our neighborhoods, but in our greater community of Wisconsin Rapids, in Adams County, and in the state of Wisconsin. So in order to build one another up, the volunteering is so incredibly important. So what are those times when you actually get feedback? I can tell you one very impactful moment I had volunteering, and it happened about 7 years ago. I was Miss La Crosse Oktoberfest. Has anyone been to Oktoberfest in La Crosse? Okay, you've probably seen that aspect of it. We'll just leave it at that. I went to college there, and before I won that title as a sophomore in college, I saw that aspect. And when I was awarded that title, I realized the philanthropic side of that. They have a family each year that is named as an honor, as a dignitary for the community, and they travel 365 days that year, going into schools, going into nursing homes. We were at a nursing home. Here I am in my dirndl crown and sash, and there was a gentleman in his wheelchair that was frumpy. I'm a very bubbly, outgoing person, and as she said, I love dancing. So I walked over naturally and I grabbed his hands. And we had just got done singing a couple polka songs, and on came You Are My Baby Doll. Anyone know that? Yes, we know that song. Older song. He looked up at me and made eye contact as I'm swaying and singing to him, and he smiled. I didn't think anything of it in the moment. I was doing my job, I was having fun, the banjo was playing. A little while later, one of the volunteers came up to me that works at that establishment, and she said, he's been here about 6 years, and I've never seen him smile. Again, we usually don't get any feedback from what we're doing, but in that moment, and that still resonates with me after all these years, I knew I was making a difference. Another time, a little more comical, I had a gentleman come up to me a few years ago. La Crosse is like my second home after going to school there and working there for 2 years as a news reporter. And he said, "Are you Tia?" I said, "Yes, I am." He goes, "Well, you volunteered a few years ago at an event my mom was at, and she just loved everything you were doing so much, she named her dog after you." And I said, "Well, that's a new one, but I hope that's a compliment. I think it is."
Bottom line is we don't necessarily need to have that response, but we all know in our hearts that in order to reach whatever goals we want to achieve, we have to have that. That's our civic duty to give back to the community, and I hope that whatever workplace environment you're in as well, they cherish that, because we as a community cannot thrive unless everyone else comes together to support one another. So thank you all so much for everything you are doing to make this area a better place to live, work, and succeed. I'm excited to be looking for a job around my hometown and be staying here after my year is done in a couple months. So I hope to be a part of this whole effort once my schedule slows down a little bit. Thank you all for being here this morning.
Thank you for being such an inspiration to all of us. Before I turn the program over to our award presenter, Brian Hansen, I have a few quick announcements. We have some lovely floral arrangements we'd like to give away at the end of the program. So to qualify, you need to fill out the 25 reasons to give. Give us your email address card, which is inside of your program, so if you could work on that. And as Brian calls each volunteer name, so when the nominees are called, please come forward while he shares the description that was provided by the nominator. And so we would ask you to come forward over near the table over there, and Mayor Verwink will be presenting the certificates. Hold your applause until Brian has finished announcing each nominee, and then we will ask the nominees to pose for a brief photo while we have you up front, so we'll do it all at once. Each volunteer will receive a certificate from us and a small gift from us, a Bursting with Appreciation snack pack. It says, "We don't mean to butter you up or sound corny when we say that all you do for us is popular all the way." At this time, I'd like to invite Brian Hansen to present the awards. Brian is a broker, owner, realtor at Next Home Partners. He's also a board member of the United Way of Southwood and Adams Counties and volunteered last year as our 2018 campaign chair. Brian?
Thank you. Good morning. While they're getting set up, I'm, in addition to real estate, for anybody that knows me here, I'm a car guy. And I had this thought this morning that cars are made up of about 1,000 or a couple thousand parts that all just do their thing and nobody notices until something goes wrong. And my time as the campaign chair last year, I really experienced that same thing. There's just countless numbers of volunteers in our community to make things work and make it a better place. In your role and what you're doing, sometimes you may feel like you're spinning around the oil or the tread of the tire, but today I'm here to tell you that you've been nominated because you really like those shiny steering wheels that help keep us going down the road, and I want to thank all of you in advance for your efforts. So as Terry said, I'll start with the names here and go on over and see them, and we'll work through this, and thank you all for your service. Our first recipient today is Guadalupe Ansel. Guadalupe began serving on the Meade Elementary Charter School Governing Council in 2014 after 3 years of retirement from Meade School as an English as second language teacher. She will have served 2.5 terms or 5 years at the end of the current academic school year. Guadalupe is the current president of the Governing Council. In her years of service, she has enjoyed working alongside the other wonderful Governing Council members and 2 superb school principals, retired Principal Maggie Dorhorst and current Principal Penny Antel. Zach Becker. Zach is a senior at Lincoln High School and has spent a lot of his free time volunteering at McMillan Library. On Tuesdays, during a program called Tech Tuesday, he assists library patrons with basic computer help. On Wednesdays, Zach helps oversee kids that are using the media studio and its resources. And if you haven't been there, check that place out, it's pretty cool. He makes sure the space is safe and fun at all times. Zach has been volunteering at McMillan Library since 2016 with a total of 496 hours. Zach will be attending Mid-State Technical College in the fall, where he'll be pursuing a degree in applied science. Don Burkholz. Don is a ham radio operator and a member of the Heart of Wisconsin Amateur Radio Group. This group helps the Southwood County Homelessness Coalition twice a year during the Homeless Point in Time Counts, where volunteers search for homeless individuals during the same time frame across the state. Ham radio operators typically help out to improve communications between groups. Don took it a step further by purchasing handheld radios and antennas for all volunteers to use with his own money. Don's generosity helps keep this volunteer event organized and safe. Patricia Bradbury. Pat? Not here. Okay. Still here. Pat was on the development team for Love Inc. of Southwood County, which started back in 2016. She helped guide the organization through the development process, helping in many different ways as they sought to establish the organization. She now volunteers as an intake specialist, taking calls from clients in need from the community and the 14 partner churches. She also helps in the administration of the organization and is especially gifted and talented in the many thank you notes that she writes to donors, clients, and other volunteers. Love Inc. greatly appreciates her sharing of her gifts and talents with the organization. Donna Brandel. Donna has been a volunteer for the senior exercise class at the Lowell Center since 2015. Her warm and caring personality makes exercise class fun and very beneficial. Under her guidance, participants strengthen their muscles, improve coordination and balance, and keep moving while enjoying each other's company and making friends. Donna is a dedicated volunteer who comes from her home in Rudolph several times a week. She also works at the reception desk, helps with the tax aid program, bingo, and special events. Jennifer Creeley. Jenny works hard to support students and families at Grove Elementary School. She has been an active part of the PTC for 4 years, most recently as president. She organizes fun events for students, including the Halloween dance and Popcorn Fridays. She also organizes fundraisers to help raise money for student field trips and events. Current, Wisconsin Rapids. Current's mission is to connect and engage young people in the Wisconsin Rapids area to contribute to a vibrant community. They offer opportunities for young professionals to make connections and learn more about the community. In 2018, events included learning about local businesses and agriculture, fundraising events, community leader panels, lunch and learns, entrepreneurial workshop and competition, volunteerism for local community garbage pickups, and community events. The leadership team put in an estimated 400 plus hours between meetings, event planning, and facilitation. Current rallies young professionals who are enthusiastic about the community and hope to attract new professionals. Barb Enright and Brenda Swan. Barb Enright is the PTC president at Mead Elementary Charter School. She leads monthly meetings after preparing a thorough agenda each month. Besides the meetings, which are incredibly organized, she pops popcorn for the school every Wednesday. She puts in extra time wherever help is needed and is kind to everyone she meets. Brenda is the PTC treasurer. She manages the PTC finances, attends meetings regularly after preparing financial reports, and has the best interest of the school at heart. Hannah Felker. Hannah is a junior at Lincoln High School. She has been nominated for the volunteer breakfast for the variety of volunteering she has accomplished. Hannah has volunteered for over 32 different volunteer opportunities, giving her time at local elementary schools, churches, healthcare and assisted living facilities, a community meal program, neighbors, youth sports, high school sports teams, and nonprofit organizations, just to name a few.
Hannah has logged 251 hours for helping around the community. Megan Galita. Megan is a senior at Lincoln High School. To this point, she has put in over 300 hours of volunteering since her freshman year. Among other activities, she has volunteered at the Elks Club Fish Fries each year, helped at the neighborhood table, volunteered in elementary classrooms during the year and in summer school, and spends a considerable amount of time with the cognitively disabled students at Lincoln High School. Paula Graves. Paula and her therapy dog Scruffy visit Heartland hospice patients who love dogs. Paula and Scruffy are always brightening the lives of hospice patients by interacting and spending time with them. Paula is committed to patients who sleep often and communicate very little, bringing joy to them. Paula and Scruffy are always making a difference no matter how short or how long a visit is. Joanne Grody. With brutal winter weather, it's important to remember the elderly and disabled individuals who have a difficult time with snow. United Ways 211 gets calls from individuals who have nowhere to turn for snow removal. Some are referred to local businesses, but those who are on fixed income get referred to the volunteer center. There's one volunteer who takes on most of the requests quickly and eagerly, Joanne Grody. Her willingness to help is heartwarming, since most of these people have mobility issues. These individuals eventually get referred to other programs for their ongoing needs, but we are grateful to Joanne for helping out in the interim. Lynette Hilgers. Lynette is beautiful inside and out. She volunteers her time at Nakusa United Church of Christ for more than half the things the church is involved in. Lynette plays organ on Sundays, leads Vacation Bible School, directs the preschool, leads the mission and outreach program, leads the care ministry, organizes Christmas caroling to shut-ins and retirement homes, organizes the quilt show, plays piano at retirement home chapel services, and leads the prayer shawl ministry. One of the other things she does is love gifts. With help from her sister, she gathers names and addresses of local people and families that are struggling to make ends meet. Just before Christmas, she organizes a food drive to give a week's worth of groceries for the holidays to over 20 families. Volunteers fill the boxes with food, and Lynette adds gifts for the children. The love gifts are then delivered to their doorsteps. Clementine Hogan. Clementine has been volunteering with McMillan Memorial Library for about 8 months and is amazing. She's always upbeat and willing to help library patrons. Clementine does shelving in the children's room, which is greatly appreciated by staff, since it can be a difficult room with all the various activities that items can go. McMillan staff appreciates Clementine's wonderful work ethic and organizational skills. John Holman Sr. This year, Historic Point Bass has nominated John Holman Sr. At the site, he is known as Johann, an early German American in the Wakely time period. He has been a volunteer for over 15 years, and rarely is there a week that he isn't doing something at the site. He chops wood, stores it for aging, and stocks the wood boxes for the site. For school group programs, he teaches candle making and leads the students in making their own candles they can take home. He is also a regular member of the Monday morning work group that maintains the buildings and grounds, and he repairs any mechanical issues that arise. John is always a pleasure to be around and a great storyteller. Louis Cadwick. Louis takes great pride in doing all he can to help prepare Southwood Emerging Pantry Shelf, or SWEPS, for the day's service to clients. Louis is energetic and hardworking. No task is too small or takes too long when Louis is involved. He helps sort donations, stock shelves, helps organize work with other volunteers, moves inventory, rides along to help with food pickups, shovels, unloads trucks, and takes in all recycling every single day. Lewis not only sets a standard of work, but also provides a great example of commitment. Tana Kubis. Tana is a valuable long-term volunteer at Southwood Emerging Pantry Shelf, or SWEPS. She works every day to help go through the produce they receive, making sure it is checked for goodness and packaged to look wonderful for the clients. Tana has a very special place at SWEPS. She always knows the volunteers' birthdays and makes wonderful snacks of their particular liking and brings it in with a card for all to sign to celebrate their day. Even when there are no birthdays or other celebrations, you can always count on Tana to bring some special homemade snack for the volunteers to enjoy. Lincoln High School's Cool to Be Kind, or C2BK. This group of high school students has 3 missions. 1, to create a positive environment. 2, to educate students about being an upstander and supporting those who are bullied. 3, to bring out the issue of mental health. They accomplish this by holding various random acts of kindness events each month, recognizing staff and students, and holding special weeks throughout the year, like Bully Prevention Week, Mental Health Awareness Week, and Suicide Prevention Week. They do presentations in every school to educate students about the effects of bullying, what each person can do to create a bully-free environment, and to show the connection between bullying and mental health concerns. They also put together Rise to Remember, an evening activity remembering those who have completed suicide. Lincoln High School's Sportainment. The Sports and Entertainment Marketing class at Lincoln High School just completed the 17th annual Sportainment Night. Students enrolled in the class developed a sponsorship contract in order to partner with local businesses to fund an evening full of fun, entertainment, and prizes in conjunction with the Lincoln High School's basketball teams. This year, Sportainment Night consisted of a carnival, raffle baskets, music entertainment by the LHS Fiddle Squad and pep band, pre-game and halftime shows, and much more. The money raised from the event is being donated locally to the Aspirus Riverview Cancer Center. This year's class raised the largest amount in the 17-year history of the event, $11,385. Kathy and Pat McGrath. Kathy and Pat have raised thousands of monarch butterflies over the years and were instrumental in getting Port Edwards designated as the first monarch village in the United States. Kathy taught kindergarten for the Port Edwards School District for 31 years. She did the Monarch Project with her kindergarten class while still teaching. When retired, she and Pat continued this work on their own. In 2018, they raised and tagged a record 1,386 monarchs and tagged 300 for their migration to Mexico. Kathy has given over 100 presentations to various groups over the years, educating people about the life cycle of the monarch and what can be done to help them. They have given presentations to Grand Affair attendees at the Clean Green Action booth, which has been a highlight for both adults and children. Meade Elementary Charter Schools Governing Council. The Governing Council members put time in each month to help the school continually improve upon their practices. The council raises funds to allow staff to attend professional development activities. They guide decision-making throughout the school year to ensure that they are meeting the requirements of the charter school contract and that students are getting the best learning opportunities possible. Mead Elementary Charter Schools Learning for Life Reading Mentors. These mentors spend a minimum of 1 hour each week in the school reading to or with students. They connect with the children on a personal level, developing a relationship and helping students know how special they truly are. Mead school staff greatly appreciate the commitment these mentors make to the students. Developing a sense of belonging and feeling loved by another helps children prepare for learning. Mead Elementary Charter Schools PTC Popcorn Volunteers. Erica Haga and Rebecca Nelson have been steady volunteers for the Mead PTC Wednesday morning popcorn fundraiser. Without them and all of their hard work, the PTC wouldn't have been able to continue its popcorn fundraiser this year. Monarch Encouragement Project volunteers. This project was adopted by Clean Green Action, a local grassroots environmental organization, in 2018. The members include A.J. Pearl, Penny Van Tassel, Carol Davis, and Richard Breen. The mission of this project is to improve local habitat and educate residents about habitat preservation in our region in order to increase the number of pollinators, including monarch butterflies. In 1 year, this group gained approval from the Wisconsin Rapids Mayor and Parks and Recreation Department to plant a prairie on the hill along the Riverview Expressway. In the spring of 2018, volunteers rolled up sod, planted seed, and cut back invasive plants. The group has also started developing an online map of city gardens, rain gardens, and prairies, which will eventually become a walking tour of the way stations. Stacy Mush. Stacy serves as a local troop leader and the service area manager for Girl Scouts of the Northwestern Great Lakes. She always remains positive and outgoing when working with school Girl Scouts and adult volunteers. She holds a deep sense of commitment to her troop, leading both girls and adults. Her troop parents say she goes above and beyond 100% of the time, while constantly teaching and showing the girls ways to be successful and confident. Not only does she serve 20 girls in her troop, she also coordinates large-scale events for all Girl Scouts in the area. She has stepped up into the role of service area manager and taken on all the challenges that come with it. Jerry Ertl. In November 2015, Jerry applied to be a volunteer patient escort at Aspirus Riverview Hospital and Clinics. He has cheerfully greeted and assisted thousands of patients and visitors in his tenure with wayfinding throughout the campus. On average, Jerry has given 40 to 60 hours of his time every month in volunteer service. At Aspirus, he also delivers flowers, newspapers, registration packets, stuffs envelopes, hands out crayons and coloring pages to the kids, and is first to volunteer his time to cover open shifts. Recently, he retraced his steps to recover a missing hearing aid, much to the delight of the patient's family. Jerry exemplifies the Aspirus values of compassion, accountability, collaboration, foresight, and joy. Port Edwards Elementary School's reading volunteers and mentors. Port Edwards Elementary School is fortunate to have two groups of dedicated community volunteers: morning reading program volunteers and United Way reading mentors. Morning reading volunteers take part in a daily before-school program by reading stories to students, bringing in therapy dogs, and assisting with craft projects. These dedicated volunteers are there very early in the morning to make sure kids get off to a great start. United Way reading mentors join the first, second, and third grade classrooms weekly to read one-on-one with students. These programs go beyond reading. Each and every mentor that visits the school has built relationships with students and staff. The teachers appreciate the one-on-one attention that reading mentors give kids who might need a little extra attention, and the smiles on the students' faces when they get to read with a mentor is priceless. Port Edwards School District volunteer coaches. Volunteer athletic coaches give of themselves to provide a fun learning opportunity for students. While some might be parents of students in their program, others are connected to the school as alumni or as grandparents. This group gives many hours each year to help students hone their skills and to understand life lessons. These individuals give students a great gift, their time and care. Ann Roser. Ann is always finding ways to communicate and bring smiles to patients at Heartland Hospice. Ann shares her hobbies and interests with patients during her friendly visits with them. Ann loves to participate in activities, sing, listen to music, and provide companionship for those that are lonely. Ann is very outgoing and creative when visiting with patients that may not be as easy to communicate with. She brings smiles to the patients and finds ways to brighten their days. St. Luke's Veterans of the Cross. This is a group of men who are retired from the regular line of work. They have a variety of skills. They help with minor repairs and do painting, electrical, or plumbing projects. They started their volunteer work for Love Inc. of Southwood County with painting at the new location on 20th Avenue South. That work progressed to removing walls, repairing sheetrock, and fixing ceilings. Their work continued to include repairing a rotten window and a complete two-room remodel, including removal of another wall for the new Love Inc. boardroom. Their work has spanned over 8 months and countless hours. The Neighborhood Table Extended Group. This group may work independently within the neighborhood table, but they are an integral part of the program. Their duties range from securing and scheduling sponsors for each meal, receiving food deliveries and stocking the shelves, assisting with menu planning with the meal coordinators, and ordering food items to handling maintenance issues. While each of these volunteers stand alone in what they do for the program, they are definitely the glue that keeps it going. Marilyn Rayberg and Kathy Kuhn have been with TNT for many years and have contributed in many ways with the growth of the program. Oftentimes, you can find all of these nominees at a meal serving up food, waiting on tables, setting up the dining room, or handling any task presented to them as well. They are very generous with sharing their time and talents with the neighborhood table. Eldine Walling. Eldine is always ready to lend a helping hand. She is active with the United Way, is a member of Women United, and a reading mentor at Mead School and Humke Elementary School in Nakusa. She is a hospice volunteer for Ascension Health and always offers a helping hand to the Adams County and Southwood County Humane Societies. She has gone with her rescue dog in the past to Villa Pines Nursing Home to visit the residents. She also volunteers her time and expertise on several local boards to help sustain the community. Donald and Betty Weiss. Don and Betty are very active in the Nakusa Port Edwards Knights of Columbus. Don has been an officer and the couple have been the cashiers for almost every fish fry they've had since the beginning. Don and Betty also volunteer for Aspirus Riverview's Home Delivered Meals Program and St. Alexander's Catholic Church in Port Edwards, including the in-church ministry. They are also very active in local veterans groups. Sandy Welniak. Sandy is an outstanding friendly visitor volunteer for Heartland Hospice who spends 2 to 3 hours with a patient. Sandy changes her schedule to meet the needs of the patient and engages the patient in a variety of activities, from playing bingo, listening to live music, going for walks, reading, arts and crafts, and watching birds. Sandy spends this much time knowing the patient is lonely and doesn't have any family. Sandy enjoys spending time with the patient and seeing the patient smile. Again, thanks to all of you for what you do, and Terry will be back here in a second.
Wow, how about another round of applause for all the great work going on? Each year, I think we learn about new programs in the community or additional opportunities that you all have taken on to make our community a better place. It's time now for us to round up those registration forms for the door prizes. So if you'd like to be drawn, please make sure that you give your cards to one of the United Way staff that's coming around to pick those up. Also, as we bring the program to a close, there's just a few thank yous that I want to make sure that we share for today. Thank you to Tiana, Miss Wisconsin 2018, for joining us today and sharing your experiences with us. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you to Mayor Verwink for giving the proclamation and helping distribute the awards. Thank you to Travis and Jesse from Wisconsin Rapids Community Media for taking photos and videoing the event. Thank you to all of the Southwood and Adams County's board members who are here from United Way. And we also want to thank this morning's sponsor of our breakfast who wished to remain anonymous. Now, are we still collecting? Yeah. Okay. Angie, do you have something that you're putting those in? You want to try out your megaphones again? Okay, I think that we have them all. Maybe we can, Tia, will you draw the winners? Oh, see, we have very creative people too. Now I see these being used as a little looking glass. Okay, so we'll ask Tia to pull out 4 of those, and if we want to come forward then to get your prize. I'm usually good with names, but I'm going to butcher this. Gao Young? Gao Young? Jacob Weefel? Whitley? Sorry.
You're not Jacob, right? You're the youngest. I went to school with his sister, so he's throwing me off there. Carol Gianni. And Barb and Wright.
So again, just in closing, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your time this morning. We greatly appreciate it. It's wonderful to see so many smiling faces here. And just to help us ceremoniously recognize that, National Volunteer Week is important, and it's a great milestone, not just in our community, but around the country, in just showcasing all of the work that you do and the impact that you make. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.